Okay, we are back.
Oh,
Woohoo!
we're back.
Sorry
for that.
Deja vu.
Yeah.
I guess you should have worked out on my routine.
A whole screen. You know, when you have a problem on the TV, there's a
Yes.
wire, a broken wire or something.
We blame it on the storm.
So
Yeah,
But ultimately, you guys, we are all Mark's guinea pigs.
it's true.
He thinks of a
That is
project, and then we're all the guinea pigs.
yeah, well, you know, that's how you move forward, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Fail
Dr.
better.
Leona Godin, Alabaster Rhumb is here with us today, and Alabaster's going to sing a song.
I'm gonna sing the song.
Original composition.
Exactly.
Again.
Sing the song again.
Super.
Okay.
You got it turned towards you?
Yeah. All right. From the Metropolitan Opera House in Ridge. What are we at? Where are we? Pleasant Hill,
Pleasant Hill.
California. All right. One moment, please. I'm taking time to breathe. An instant spare for my repair. If you could wait, I'll have the time to waste for you to analyze my fate and claim my state of mind. In the moment seized, my mind is left at ease to contemplate a tree with some shade. No thinkers, please, to disrupt this energy that's flowing round and round this tree that I lay beneath. 'Cause I've been shot down and river down, dried out right into a can. It seems I have found myself to be. Now I'm going to jump up and take me back. Pick up my heels, pick up my slack, and give myself another chance. Hey, hey there, you below, look at me up above you. I'm above like a bird in a tree. Now I'm going to jump down and climb right back. Look at me up above you. I'm above like a bird and I'm free.
Yay!
All right. Oh my God,
Thank
that was
you.
so beautiful. I was thinking
Thank
of that
you.
bird in the tree.
Oh.
Yeah, probably not a lot of birds out there right now.
I actually saw one today out my
Oh,
window,
you did?
and I was concerned about it, but I figured.
Yeah, there's lots of pigeon.
No,
That's true.
There are always
Can't get rid of the
pigeons.
You know,
pigeons.
they are birds. You know, they actually, they are, you know, I think they really got a rough deal. The
They
pigeon.
did. The poor pigeon.
I know, and they're close
So-
relatives. The doves are so beloved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the
yeah.
doves hate the pigeons. Yeah.
And I'm sorry, the sound was great, except a snowplow did pass by at some point.
Oh, okay.
Well, what
Sounds
can
of
you
the
do?
city.
That's, yeah.
Yeah.
That was really great. So that's from a collection of songs, correct?
Yeah. So I have I kind of just have a life's work. I just decided I'm just going to do one thing, and it's going to be really put everything into it. It's a book of songs, and it's got poems and drawings, but the main focus is song cycles. So that's a song in the first song cycle, and I've just begun the second. It's got 24 pieces in it.
Wow. Great.
So it's kind of like, you know, Winterreise, you know, like Schubert. So I like the idea of the 24 pieces, you know. Anyway, nothing like Schubert, but so that's basically it. That's what I put everything into, and sometimes every once in a while I get to perform it, but you know, it's hard to put together. So this is my orchestra, my wind ensemble.
Winds and drums.
Wow.
Winds and drums.
Yeah, the first time we saw you perform, you were strumming the guitar.
Yeah, yeah. It was a very inadequate instrument for me. So it was more frustration. I spent more times being frustrated. So I would howl and bang and scrape, and you know, just in the end, it didn't work. So I'm glad I finally got rid of it. I broke myself of that bad habit. I mean, guitars are fine, but there's enough
The
guitar
guitar
players.
is like smoking.
Yeah, seriously. I feel sorry every time I see somebody walking down the street with a guitar strapped on their back. I'm like, oh, poor soul.
He does.
I don't nothing against guitars. I spent many years playing guitar, so
Yeah.
anyway, yeah.
All right. So, Leona,
Yes,
apparently you're working on a book. Is this correct?
Well, I'm pretty much done with the book. It's in production right now.
Oh, wow.
So it's
Congratulations.
got its cover. I'm supposed to be getting galleys at the top of the new year. So, yeah.
Fantastic.
Top of the new year? I mean, you mean like in January?
So I'll be getting galleys, or like basically page designs. So it's all in production. I get one more pass once it's there, but you can't really make any kind of major changes at that point. It's like making sure that everything is sort of okay. So we already went through the edit. What I say about writing a book, it's kind of like increasingly underwhelming celebrations, you know. So you're like, yay, I finished the first draft, and then you finish the second draft, and then you go into revision, and you're like champagne every time. Revision, first revision, second revision, copyright revision, So I think we'll hold off on any more champagne until we actually have the book coming out, which is in June.
It's expensive.
It'll be in June. So.
Yeah, just get a case, you know.
And then we'll
Piece of champagne.
Napa is like, you know, like half an hour from you guys.
Yeah, but we're old wine world. We're old world wine snobs. Wine world.
Yeah. I drink anything.
You're a true writer, Leona.
That's right. That's right. Oh, God. So the book is called Their Plant Eyes, A Personal and Cultural History of Blindness. And I don't know, should I just kind of go for it?
Yeah.
Well, you guys were saying that you wanted something cheerful. So I thought, well, what's more cheerful than sex? Specifically, sex and blindness. Who knew? And I don't talk a lot about music in my book, but this actually has an anecdote from a blind opera singer. So you'll listen for that. And the name of the chapter, it's chapter 12, Sanctified by Affliction or Not. We are often so programmed to think about sexuality as being conveyed through the eyes that depictions of blind people acting out their desires become stereotyped. So stereotyped that sighted people take them as gospel. May I touch your face? asks Reba in her first meeting alone with Dollarhide in Red Dragon. She fears she may have offended him and says, by way of explanation, I want to know if you're smiling or frowning. It is one of the few blind moments in the novel that does not ring true for me. I have never asked to feel anyone's face, though I have had many sighted people ask if I want to feel their face. It always makes me laugh. I would prefer not to feel any faces out of the context which most sighted people feel faces, intimate moments with loved ones, such as spouses or children. Am I just a misanthrope, a prude? I decided to reach out to others to gauge my feelings about face touching, specifically Caitlin Hernandez, Lori Rubin, and Michelle Kleinberg. The four of us communicated regularly in order to discuss our writing and our lives as blind women. I sent them an email with a subject line, face touching, and I asked them what they thought of it. All agreed that with rare exceptions, this is not something we do. Caitlin, a teacher and writer, has been blind since birth and admits to being a very touchy-feely person. She wrote, I never touch faces unless I'm making out with someone and or unless I'm very drunk and have a crush on that person and use my blind drunkenness as an excuse to hang all over them. Now, perhaps you, sighted reader, listener, are more circumspect and have never asked a blind person, do you want to touch my face? And you're amazed that we must actually have responses for such a question prepared because it is so common, but all are not like you. Lori, our opera singer in Hawaii, who has also been blind since birth, mentioned a time she sang in a master class that was open to the public. After the concert, a woman around my mom's age came up to me and asked if I had any interest in touching her face so that I would know what the person I was talking to looked like. Instead of waiting for an answer, the woman took my hand and placed it all over her oily face. I tell you, all I remember from that experience, from that encounter, was a very long nose. Lori hastily told her that she does not usually touch faces and concluded it was funny to actually have someone placing my hand on her face while simultaneously asking me if I would find that helpful. Lori added that, truth be told, she doesn't even touch her wife's face very much. I'll stroke her cheek or nuzzle my face against hers, but I'm really not much of a face toucher and prefer cuddles and hugs over face interaction. We had this conversation over a series of emails, and the stories kept coming. Invitations to touch beards seemed to evoke some particularly gross memories. However, Caitlin mentioned that she has a friend that she says that she does get something from face touching. The friend had once had vision, and Caitlin wondered if that made the difference. But Michelle and I disabused her of that idea. Michelle is the mother of an 11-year-old and is working on a memoir about parenting while going blind. She had this to say about face touching. I hate when people ask me, I don't want to touch your face. And as for one who did see previously, I do not get an image from it. I think it is because I am too busy wigging out at touching a face. The only time I actually loved touching a face was my baby's just after she was born. I can only assume then that sighted authors and filmmakers are largely responsible for promoting the myth of face touching, but perhaps I need a larger sample. I'm guessing, however, that my guy friends would be even more disinclined to face touching, preferring to touch elsewhere instead. In his memoir, The Sound of the Walls, Jacob Tversky, a blind novelist and historian, describes his first date with his future wife, during which he says, touch my face. Do you think you could tell then if I'm really pretty? Instead of touching her face, he took the opportunity for a first kiss. The end.
That's great.
That's excellent.
Hey, you're supposed to clap.
Sorry.
Wow. I'm so looking forward to that book.
Yeah.
It's going to be super.
I met Leona as a student in a school where I was teaching for visually impaired student, and I never saw anybody touch anybody's face ever. It never crossed my mind. It never crossed my mind as something to do.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Did anybody ever ask you if they wanted if they
No,
could touch your
no,
face?
no one
No,
touched your
of course
face.
not. Of course.
No.
It's like, what? I have another author friend who said if she reads it one more time in a book, she'll tell the author that it's sexual harassment.
I think the voice is the face, you know?
Exactly. We get so
Yeah.
much from the voice. My goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
amazing.
lot. There's
Yeah.
a lot because since we look at the face, we don't pay so much attention to the voice, you know. But
Yeah.
the voice is probably the.
Mark is actually in my book. He has a cameo in my book as my teacher of drums and Pro Tools. And of course, I have to tell the anecdote that I love telling at like every dinner party that you guys throw, right? About Matthew Whitaker when he was 5 and could, like now he's a prodigy, or he was a prodigy, right? But now he's a professional jazz musician who like
Matthew
tours the world.
Yeah.
And I met him when he was like 5 and he was wailing away on the drums, right? And and I was like, oh man, that little kid's better than me. And Mark was like, well, not yet. And
Wow. That's
but
great.
with no elegant segue, I think we're going to go back and hear some more music from Alabaster Rhumb.
That sounds
Cool.
super.
Okay, another bird song.
Oh, good.
I've got lots of bird songs. Okay. When I was younger, when the world it tasted sweeter to me, when all of my fears could be explained by the dark, I climb aboard the midnight Sparrow. Then anything I'd like but to be up above, over the crowds and over the sea, with the dreams of flight by star-filled night, to the moon. Another clean and race upon a midnight Sparrow, scrape of fingers on a black sky, skipping on the spaces in between the stars, into the dark where the aliens are. The Sparrow and I go traveling. Midnight Sparrow. But now that I'm older, in the world with what are left of my teeth, be down below under the crowds and under the sea, with the dreams of flight by star-filled night, to the moon. The king race upon a midnight Sparrow, scraping fingers on the black sky, skipping in the spaces in between the stars, into the dark where the aliens are. The Sparrow and I go traveling. moonlight sparrow.
All right.
Thank you.
You know, it's like an aria. So you're in the perfect place.
Oh yeah. Well, I like to think that I compose like more in the art song tradition, even though it's not true. But you know, some of the songs they start somewhere and then they end somewhere, right? And there's no this one has a chorus, so obviously this is not the same thing. But a lot of the songs don't. They have a beginning and have an ending, and there's transitions, but there's no repeat of sections or whatever. You know. Like, anyway, so yes, I like the idea of that, an aria. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely like an art song. Definitely, and like a poetry to music. You know,
Fun.
So that's what an art song is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're doing it. Well, great.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank you guys so much for joining us, and sorry about the glitch at the beginning, but
I had just one question about what the cover. You're gonna have a hardcover for the book?
So the way that traditional publishing houses go is that first the hardcover and now the ebook, they come out at one time. So that's going to be June. Yeah. And then they kind of judge based on like reviews and early sales, how many soft cover books to print. And that is usually like a few months later. So it'll be both.
The question I had,
but there will be Braille. Is that the question?
There will be Braille. Yeah, I was gonna
on the cover. Nice. On the cover, yeah. On
so
the cover, yeah.
We won't touch your face, but we will touch the face of your book.
You'll touch my cover.
And were you able to use the photograph you wanted to use?
We're still waiting to get final approval, but that's for my author photo. So that's not the cover. Yeah, that's going to be my author photo. So yeah, knock on wood. The cover is much more abstract, and then it's going to have the Braille. So yeah, touch my cover. I think that's going to be my tagline.
Don't touch my face.
I think you guys are going to have to write a little ditty. You're going to have to write a little song for me for that one, Mark.
Yeah, I think so. It's in the vault.
Great. Well, thank you guys, cool. And we wish you a very happy holiday. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah.
Soon.
Right. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, great.
Yeah.
And tomorrow we have John Mark Rosendahl, who is not a guitar player.
Oh.
We do have guitar players coming, but he plays viola da gamba.
Oh, cool.
He will be playing some music for us from the olden days.
Yay.
So that'll be super. Great. All right,
okay.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Thank you for watching.